So yeah, the Mega PC came out of necessity because I was running 6 PCs to get all of the cameras, the inputs, everything to work on my stream. And even though Aitum was making everything way easier to control, still 6 systems, that's just increasing the chances of a crash. On this motherboard that Asus had given me, Threadripper Pro, 7 X16 ports. The 3 at the top I use for 3 3080s, and then the rest of them, the other 5, are split in 2, which gives me so much possibility for extra I/O. And this PC now can run 64 cameras. I've got so many USB ports on it, you would not believe. I've got 3 8-port PCIe cards in that thing, and then how many hubs connected to all of those. It's ridiculous. But yeah, the Mega PC is a one of a kind in the whole world, but I'm incredibly proud of it. And for larger content creators, you know, the Dr. Lupos and the Ninjas, this system is the future for people like that.
Greg, welcome to the Behind the Stream podcast. Really excited to have you on. You've been on my radar for someone to get on here, just down to your like unique way of streaming and what you're doing in the space. And I'm really excited to just kind of go a bit deeper into some of the things that you've been doing on and off stream.
Yeah, I'm really excited to chat, man. It's nice to get the opportunity to chat about these things in detail. It's, you know, not always the thing people want to hear about on stream. They usually like, play my song request, you know? So, yeah, I like chatting about this stuff.
It's kind of boring to most people. It's like, I always find streamers love talking about it, but they never talk about it, which is kind of like the idea behind what I wanted to do is just...
Yeah, I always feel on stream, I don't want to go into too much detail on things because people might think it's a level of me just being like, oh, let me constantly talk about myself. But obviously, you know, it's my passion and the thing I live every day doing, you know, full-time content creation. So it's sometimes a bit weird to hold it back on stream, but it's necessary to stick to the content that obviously people are there for. So
yeah, it's difficult. You want to get carried away with going into the techie stuff, but then you realize my audience probably doesn't care too much about this stuff.
Yeah.
So let's dive straight in. Let's talk about your streaming journey. Is kind of what I get everyone to do is to just kind of, it'd be great to hear like where you started, like why you started streaming, any inspirations there, any like notable things that have happened along the way that have kind of shifted the direction of what you've done in streaming or what you've visioned to do in terms of your direction, and then like how that is like where up to a point of like where you are today, basically.
Yeah, so the reason I started streaming is actually kind of a bit of a sad one. Before I started streaming, I worked in 2 main areas. One was visual effects. So I worked on films, notable ones being Paddington and Thor Ragnarok. And I was, you know, doing really well, a specialist in my field for visual effects. And then I decided wasn't paying that great, so I'd start my own business. And that business went really well for a time, and then, let's just say, didn't. And I won't get into the details of that because no one needs a sob story, but it destroyed my life. It was, you know, several years of utter hell, and I ended up going from, you know, being very well paid and really enjoying running this business to working in a local supermarket. And I hit, like, absolute rock bottom. And
how long ago was this?
This was back in like end of 2016, start of 2017, where everything was really, really not doing great. And essentially, I wasn't able to do any freelance work, art, and all the things I'd really been into because I'd hit this rock bottom of depression. I wasn't drumming. I wasn't doing anything creative. And one day, my friend Sam turns around to me and goes, "Hey, man, I'm gonna be gaming on this site called Twitch. Have you heard of it?" And I'd watched a bit, you know, and I'd seen it when it was just in TV when I was in uni. Yeah. And he said, "I'm going to be gaming. Come on and play some DayZ with me." So we ran around DayZ and I set up a stream. And for about a month, I was a game streamer. And let's just say an absolutely awful one. I am not skilled at playing a game and talking to chat. And I think the most I had watching me was myself and good old Commander Root. that was it. And I turned around to Sam and I was like, look, I'm really enjoying playing with you, but streaming isn't my thing. Like, I don't think it's really up my alley. And he went, well, why don't you, before you like shut everything down, try drumming? And I went, no one's, it's a gaming site. No one's going to watch drumming. And there was no music category.
Yeah, this was when there was nothing like but gaming, wasn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, it was creative and IRL. Those were like the two other places where people stream stuff. And he went, well, look at this guy. And showed me the 8-bit drummer. Who, have you heard of Jared, 8-bit drummer?
I'm not sure, no.
You should go and check him out. He's one of the true OGs of like the music and drumming scene. And I watched his stream and I was just blown away with how he was doing what he loved, playing the drums and chatting to people and everything. I thought, sure, right, let's go for it. So I set up a webcam. I had a little mixer. I had mono audio. It was only coming out the left-hand side of people's headphones. And I went live. And the first stream I did, 17 viewers out of nowhere.
That's decent.
Yeah, it was incredible. And people were there listening to what I was playing and cheering on and just being like, this is awesome. Never seen anything like it. Because again, music wasn't really a thing on the platform at that point. I think there were about 20 or 30 music streamers at all on the platform. And I thought, sure, right, let's start doing this. And over that first year of growing my stream, it pulled me out of that really dark place. I'd go and work at this supermarket and then I'd come home and I'd work on my stream. I would save every penny I got because I was not making much at all to buy new cameras, to buy new equipment. And really, everyone says they look at my stream now and they're like, whoa, you've got, I think you said it before we started this, you've got everything tech-wise, but I really didn't when I started out. So it allowed me to build up and appreciate the real streaming journey. And then on from there, I moved house specifically to get another streaming room. And this was when I'd started to get more subscribers. My income was actually split between streaming and a little bit of freelance artwork and the supermarket.
Yeah.
And then I got in this other room. I'd set up multiple webcams. I'd been able to scrounge together some PCs, so I had more than one PC. And then one day I'm streaming, just doing my thing, and the chat starts going with the stream elements. You've been followed. You've been followed. You've been followed. And it fills my chat. And I had a green screen behind me that would rotate and say followers' names, and that would just go. And I remember being like, oh God, I'm being botted. And I went, oh, I'm going to have to, am I being botted? And in between the follow messages were people saying, no, this is real. And I jumped to 17,000 viewers because a French streamer called Mr. MV had been doing a Minecraft tournament, died really early on and was just searching the then music and performing arts category. And he found me and just went, I love this setup. He knew a person who had raided me before called Damn Live. We were good friends and I'd helped her with some tech. I brought all of this incredible community over and I was hovering about 80 or so viewers. I was on like the classic partner push at that point, and that exploded it. I had partner within something like 3 weeks. My average went up to about 500 and
really.
It just exploded my stream with this incredible French community. And I shot up in subscribers like to 1,500 to 2,000 subs, tier 1 as well, not just gifted. And I thought, you know what? If I'm ever going to get out of the supermarket, if I'm ever going to get my mojo back of being me and being creative, because I've been an artist since I was 10. I've been selling my art since I was 10. And I was like, the streaming is the perfect combination of the visual effects, the tech, and the music. They're like 3 true passions of my life. And I just went, screw it. And I walked into the supermarket on the Saturday, and after, I'd hit partner and everything, and I just went to my boss. I was like, look, the streaming thing, which I talked about, is going really well. I want to try and do it full time. And I was like, what's my notice period? And she went, you know what? We're actually hiring a load of new people today. They're in training right now. So if you like, you can finish today. And I was like, what? And she was like, but this is on the internet, isn't it? And she didn't understand that much, but she understood enough. And she turned around, she got down the actual manager of the store. Now, I'd recorded a video for them. And I was in good grace. And he went, look, you're really pushing this. We're going to hold your job for 6 months. If you come back to us within 6 months and you want your job back, no questions asked. You can just put on the uniform and jump back in. If it doesn't, really nice. Then, go for it. And it was one of the nicest things a manager has ever done for me. And I walked out the store like everything, all of that doom and gloom that I'd had was totally erased by Twitch and the community that had formed around my channel and the people who loved what I did. And then it just went strength to strength. I ended up buying a house just before COVID hit. I actually know the exact date I got the keys, which was 12th of March, 2020, because that was the day that the UK went into the lockdown.
It's sent home, isn't it? Yeah, I know it was in March sometime, yeah.
So I got the keys to the house and couldn't move in, but I moved into this house, and then over lockdown, when I was able to get the contractors in, because contractors could still work, we built this studio, and the rest has been, up to here is just been trying to push and make the best drum stream, the best produced and most interactive and fun stream on the platform. That's my goal. It's a lofty one, but hey, aim high is the best way to go. But yeah, there's like the journey, I guess.
Yeah. So at that point when you got that raid in the following weeks, where that's when you saw the growth, like what were you doing on stream then? Like what were you drumming? Were you doing just chatting? Like what sort of content were you producing then?
It was all drumming. And at the time I was really pushing the chat interactive scene, which was the ability for people to use commands, ! Front cam, ! Overhead cam, and it would change what was happening on stream. Really made the chat the producers of my stream. So I was really focusing on this. I had a ridiculous OBS setup. I had 3,000 scenes in OBS.
How did you have that?
Across 3 PCs, and believe me, I affectionately called shutting OBS down a controlled plane crash, because every time I clicked that X, it would just crash OBS. I was pushing things to the limit, but I was really getting to like the end of what I could achieve with multiple stacked pieces of software. But that was what I was focusing on. I was trying to make something that no one else had really done on the platform. Because as a drummer, I play over songs. I can play a couple of other instruments, some keyboard, bit of bass guitar, bit of guitar, but there is no way that I could perform those on stream in any way. So from my point of view, what I excelled at was using the drumming and the music as the showpiece, but the stream's interactivity and the ability for people to have that connection with what I was doing, that was what was like my USP. People knew that then when they went into one drum stream, like 8-bit drummers, if they wanted to hear the song they wanted, they could hear that. Where they came to mine to see the performance, the show, the production value. And it was just a constant rolling that. I did a bit of tech. I did the occasional game stream. But yeah, the drums was my core.
How did... I still want to talk about that raid that seemed to kick things off in like who was your audience when that happened? Like, I'm curious, like, were these drummers or just people that have never seen a stream like this before and just want to get involved? Like, I've got no idea of like who your audience is. So I'd love it if you could maybe describe who you think they are, and maybe some sub niches within that.
I think the best way to describe it is the way that my friend Josh Strife Hayes describes his stream, which is second monitor content. People are doing something, like they're playing a game, they're doing some work, they're cleaning the house. People have me up on their TVs. I'm their radio. I am their interactive live podcast with music thrown in. I am the thing that people have on when they just want to relax and have something that isn't intense but has a connection to something that they like, aka a song, music, and also good vibes. The one thing I always try to exude on my stream, and there was a time when I really found it hard to, but is enjoyment of music and the happiness like that brings. I adore playing the drums, and I could talk about playing drums and technique and the way to make different sounds and the tech and everything until the cows come home. But that's sort of like what people came for, because they'd come in, they might see the flashy cameras and the drumming and all of that, and come in and go, whoa, or, oh, he played my song. But they stayed because they enjoyed hanging out with me. And again, the drums is the hook. You know, the production value is the hook. The thing that keeps people there is the fact that I always try and make this friendly atmosphere where we can chat, we can enjoy a song together. Really, like I do this thing at the moment which is really popular, but I just love it, where I'll go, name me a song that's happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And I just want someone, whatever they've been listening to tell me the song that at that time when they listen to it makes them happy. And it's that sort of thing that people sort of stayed for, was that level of, you know, care that I try and put in. So, and I've always, you know, again, after that raid, people saw my enthusiasm. People enjoyed either the tech side of it or the drumming or a bit of both. Or there are people who are neither drummers, don't know anything about tech, and are just there because they like having me on in the background. Like, say, second monitor content. I have a whole crew of people who have me on while they play Destiny. And I just love that. Like, I adore it. Lurkers power my channel.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, I'd say about 30% of the people who watch me talk, the other 70% are there just enjoying. And, you know, I am very cool about that. I am. The fact that someone has... I got sent a video the other day of someone who had me up on their TV, and their daughter was dancing around while I was playing, you know, a song that they requested. Like, it doesn't get better than that, you know? But the audience is global, though. I have people in America, in Germany, in France, in Sweden, people in Singapore who watch me, people in Australia who stay up to watch me because, you know, the opposite side of the globe to them. So the community is truly global, even though it was obviously really kicked up a notch by the French side.
Where do you think you're, like, how are people finding your stream at the moment? Because I noticed that you unlike other creators, you don't post like tons on like TikTok or YouTube, etc. So I was wondering like what you're thinking and planning and strategy is around growth, or like where like I'm sure people come to your stream. I just curious like what your thoughts on that, like in terms of like top of the funnel stuff.
So it's really interesting you ask, because I was having this discussion last night with a friend of mine while we were playing Minecraft, and I was saying, look, you know, I'm in a very lucky circumstance where I've never done TikTok, YouTube. You know, I think I put up a video about a year and a half ago now, been like, my return to YouTube.
I watched that earlier.
What made one other video about
one video after,
and then it was like, and tumbleweed yet again. And the thing for me is, because I worked in the film industry, and everything there is, they literally are along the lines of, we would rather have a perfect 10 seconds than a mediocre minute. So my brain is always in that position when I start to create recorded content. Even if it's short form content for TikTok, I'm like, it must be perfect. And that's just because it was drilled into me for like 10 years. So I'm very lucky to be able to support myself almost fully on the side of Twitch. There are very few streamers or content creators out there who only singularly have one platform, and everyone, as you say, preaches now, you must be on multiple platforms, you've got to be everywhere. I find that incredibly fatiguing, and it's something that I'm working on. I'm rebuilding my whole setup at the moment to allow me to actually create short form content quickly and easily from my streams. I'm going to just have flashback recording and a vertical canvas running in a second instance of OBS. My Stream Deck, I'll just be like, right, okay, I really enjoyed the last 2 minutes of that song. Boop. It'll cut it into an MP4, it'll export it to a folder, and after the stream, I can label that and throw that on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. That's my plan.
Yeah.
But the thing I excel at is the live streaming. It's the live element. You know, being a drummer, being on stage and being used to that, that's where I excel. If I have to predetermine something and try and record it. Like I've tried to do YouTube videos and I've even written a script. I can't do it. It kills the creativity for me. Like I say, because I did it so much as a job, there's just not that appeal. So for me, what I'm trying to do is reinvent how I am creative across VOD content, because, and this is something that, you know, my motto is, if I'm not innovating, I'm bored. And for me, the way that I guess it's become very normal to recycle all your content or have to feel that pressure to put everywhere, content creators are falling into a niche of being the same. And for me, I was like, I don't want to do that. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to, you know, crap on other creators in any way, but I just, for me, that it feels choking, restricting. So my strategy, like I say, is to create these clips of the stream. Yes, that's recycled to begin with, but then try and create a routine of building things into my stream which I actively want to do, which I can enjoy doing because it's live, then cutting that up properly and putting that out somewhere. So if I'm doing a tech piece, for example, I you know, you'll see my enthusiasm. You'll see my love of what I'm doing. Whereas if I'm recording it, you're not going to see that because I'm recording it. Whereas cutting out that live section and doing that is going to excel. So my plan is to do that. And the strategy behind it is just going to be trying to break that perfectionism as well. Maybe 3.
That's going to be the tough part.
Oh, yeah. 3 videos that I put like 50% effort in, and then another video that's got 95%. That's where I'm gonna sort of come from with it. But yeah, like I say, when people turn around to me and go, I don't see you on TikTok or YouTube, are you planning to do that? I'm like, you know, I don't know, because that's the thing. The moment that streaming stops becoming creative for me, or it feels too much like a chore, is the moment I stop doing it. Basically, I know I've always said as well, the moment if I never received another sub again, I go and get another job, probably knock on Elgato's door and be like, yoo-hoo. But I would still continue streaming because I started it and continue it for the love of it, regardless of it being a job.
Nice. So you talked about like your innovation there. If you're not innovating, you are bored. I'm guessing that what you are doing with Aitum has probably stemmed from that motto. So it'd be great if we could maybe pivot now into how you are innovating within the streaming space with regards to Aitum and kind of this streaming extension / plugin. I'm not sure what you officially call it. But,
we're still figuring that one out ourselves, I would say.
It would be great if you could intro it, like what it is, who it's for.
I think,
and then we go into questions about it a bit more in depth.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe Aitum is to describe the story of how it started.
Yeah,
which was, I talked about how people would be able to use commands in my chat to change the, you know, color of my overlay or my camera and things like that. To make that happen, that required 6 pieces of software stacked on top of each other, which guaranteed every stream one thing would break, and it would have to totally, I'd have to totally reset something. And one day I'm on front page and I've got 6,000 people watching, and the link between one of my PCs that passed MIDI from my electronic drum kit down to the PC in another room that allowed me to control it broke. So I've got 6,000 people there watching me run around going, you know, tech gremlins.
The worst.
And this guy, Dust, comes in and says, hey, look, I'm a programmer. I really like your show. Maybe I can help you fix this. Now, I'd worked with programmers in the past. I'd worked with a couple and I'd said to them, I was like, look, I want to fix this. And they either ran away screaming because they were like, that's way too much. Or they were like, yeah, I'll try it. And then after a couple of weeks, we're like, no, I just can't do it. Dust, or David, as he's actually called, who's now my business partner, solved that MIDI issue of just sending it from one PC to another and back in 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, you have my attention. So we sat down, we became friends, we were gaming and everything, and he helped me build my overlay into a more stable position. We made it a browser source instead of 40 different individual images that were animated and then nested. I think my overlay used to take up 180 scenes in OBS to make work, and we put that down to one browser source. So it was we started working on just making my stream more efficient, and using the channel points on Twitch, having those be able to turn on and off depending on the scene I was on, so people couldn't activate them or they could, etc. And as we were building this for myself, people were coming in and going, how are you doing this? Like how is this possible? Why are you able to rig this up and no one else can? And we were like, oh, well, we've been building this. And then one night, admittedly, after a couple of drinks, myself and David sat down and went, you know what? There is a need for this type of software. But the key thing is with it, because we started Aitum, started working on this nearly 3.5 years ago, the initial conversations. And there was nothing really like this out there at the time that was user-friendly. And that's the key. You know, you had things like cruise control, and you had Streamlabs chatbot that could do integrations with auto hotkey and stuff, and that's what I was using personally. But again, it was unless you had some form of programming knowledge or you understood forms of programming logic, you couldn't get into it. So it just immediately the ceiling for entry, for other streamers was extremely high. So we went, right, let's make something that's user friendly. Let's allow people to do this easily and it not break and it be reliable. And that's where Aitum started, was the idea that content creation is changing. And people want the ability to mess with the streamer. Streamers want to be able to automate things. For example, I have it now. If I change certain scenes, my lights will dim. You know, they don't want to be pressing a million buttons on the Stream Deck to get everything to work. They just want it set and forget. And that's where Aitum really started to come into its own, was this idea that you don't just build your stream in OBS anymore. You build your setup as a whole functioning conglomerate piece of tech. But from most streamers who are just coming into the field point of view, it's easy to set up. It's like, I want this to do this, and that's it. There's no programming involved. There's no having to use logic to make things turn on and off in certain ways. It was as clean as we could possibly get it. Really fancy UI, and opened up the possibilities for people to see all of this, you know, in quotation marks, advanced stuff that I've been doing and others, and make it accessible. So yeah, that's where Aitum came from. And you'd asked, who's it for? I'd say it's for every streamer. It's just used very differently dependent on where you are. So game streamers, we've seen people who have a channel point that allows all their Elgato lights to go to full brightness and then turn off to flashbang them. Yeah. And makes a ringing, sound play in their ears. I myself, as a musician, I use my drum kit to now trigger scene changes, which again, Aitum does. And it's so varied, but it's for everyone. But each individual niche of Twitch can use Aitum in a different creative way. VTubers use it. We're one of the only pieces of software that integrates something called OSC, or Open Stage Control, Open Sound Control. Sorry. And now Deadmau5 uses Aitum because we use MIDI and OSC, and it can connect it to Twitch. And the other thing that's really unique about Aitum, which seems to be we're the only people on the market who do it, is multi-PC support out the box. You just install it on all of your systems, Mac, Windows, or Linux, and they automatically connect and talk to each other. So if you've got a stream PC, but you're gaming on your game PC, and you've got your Stream Deck plugged into your game PC, you can control your stream PC, or vice versa. Yeah. And again, it's about taking all of those concepts which have been seen as advanced for so long and inaccessible to people, and just making them possible. But yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm quite enthusiastic about this.
I'm not surprised. Like, do you think there needs to be a big re-education piece then? Because my initial thoughts are that, like, it's almost like you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what's possible unless someone shows you what's possible. And I don't know whether there are a lot, most of the streamer audience, people who stream, sorry, there are some that who really enjoy that stuff. And I think there are others that just completely ignore it for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering how.
Well, I think the reason that a lot of people ignore it is they look at it and they go, I could not do that. They look at it and they go, nothing here specifically would improve my stream. Because they don't. Every stream is 10% what the viewers see and 90% what goes on behind the scenes. I'm sure you know that from watching basically anyone on the platform or talking to, anyone. So when it comes to Aitum, we've had so many people who go, well, I couldn't use that. But then I go, oh, well, why don't you just have an automatic thing to when you press that start streaming button, it turns on your lights, it puts you onto your intro screen, it turns on your intro music, it turns off all your channel points, it, turns on a Wi-Fi plug, it launches your game. And they go, what? You can do that with a button? I'm like, yeah. Your setup is immediately reduced from 10 minutes to 10 seconds. And then they go, what? And they go, oh, and all of that takes 30 seconds to set up in Aitum. And that's when people start to see, like you say, it's if you don't know it, you don't know it. And that's you said re-education. That's definitely what we need. I compare it to Stream Elements or Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Now, I've worked with Stream Elements for a long time now. And sure, they're great. Streamlabs, never really used. But hey-ho, it's one of the big two. The problem I see with them now is when they first started creating their chatbots and everything, that was revolutionary. The ability to have an overlay editor, which you just put in as a browser source. And I remember the days of having to have to pop out a window and then green screen that and pull it into OBS to get your alerts to work. So when they brought out all of those easily accessible tools and just in one place, it was groundbreaking. Yeah. But now that is 5 years ago. The idea of where their stuff is now is really behind the times, in my opinion. They're not focusing on their core products as much. So everyone just assumes that those being the big two, that's the peak. That's what you can achieve. Whereas it's obviously not the case. And with Aitum, what we've tried to do as well is pull a lot of stuff from the professional broadcast world that people see in TV shows and watching sports and things like that, and just make those features available. Like, say, the automation, the ability to allow the viewers to interact. We used to have this thing in the UK called the red button on your TV, where if you're watching something, it said, press the red button now, you press it, take you to a second channel that showed a short piece of content related to what you're watching, and then it would reinsert you back into the program. It's like those things that people take for granted with Sky or being able to rewind and things that Aitum makes possible for live streams. And again, people don't realize this. The re-education and showing people what's possible and breaking out of that mold is really what Aitum's final goal will be. And again, is as well to make sure we don't get stuck. As a piece of software, we're constantly evolving. We're constantly, even in the, on the 31st, we will have been released a year, even though we've been working on it like 3.5. And we've changed things in the app multiple times just over that year, because the content creation industry moves so fast. And if you are not trying to react, nobody's growing. And I guess sorry, I'm over talking this, but like the final thing I see is you get people like, the Sushi Dragon, who does this in crazy, amazing stuff, and you see people watch him and go, I could never do that. Aitum is about bringing everyone else up to that level. So the people who are actually at the top, like myself, Sushi Dragon, Nutty, and the others, have to innovate further. We have to push forward. And it brings out people who, might get their creativity sparked by going, oh my, I can actually achieve this now. And they might do something no one else has ever seen. And that will change, again, the landscape of content. And that's for me what Aitum's about. Because it's not about, yes, it's my company with my business partner and the other people involved. But I'm the streamer in it. And sure, I'm going to gain an audience as this grows, but that's not what Aitum is about. Aitum is about, like, in a way, allowing myself to become more mediocre, or seen as the stuff I do as mediocre because it's so accessible, but everyone else grow and expand from that. Because I know my channel might not last forever, but something like Aitum that allows all these content creators across the globe to do what they do and do it well and easily, like, that's going to last. And that's where sort of like the intrigue from the software for myself comes, and, you know, everybody who uses it, really.
What are you seeing as the biggest challenge at the moment then, in terms of growing that audience of streamers and people that use it? If I'm sure they'll probably talk through a few things that I think you're finding challenging. It'd be great to hear those.
Yeah, it's the main one is marketing, putting it in front of people and showing them what they can do, because it's very easy for us to put Aitum in front of someone and be like, hey, look at this. But until they see, like, I put out a short TikTok just on, go to your BRB screen and trigger an ad to get rid of pre-rolls. That got thousands of likes and thousands of views because people went, that's how I use it. That's how I should be using it. But Aitum does so much that when people look at it for the first time, it overwhelms them. And it's breaking that, which is definitely the hardest. Because when we can break that and then create marketing material which does that and shows that journey to everyone, that will be the key. And finding that balance and how to do that without making a billion TikToks or you know, having to tweet about it constantly is the hard one. We want to work with more streamers. We want streamers to create content around Aitum. We've had some incredible videos already. Two of the most notable ones from Harris Heller and Sam Woodhall. And
I've seen Sam's one. Yeah.
Yes, Sam's video is just phenomenal. Like, and the people who went on there and went, wow, look at how creative I could be, is phenomenal. So it's finding a way that we can grow the business enough to be able to pay the content creators to showcase Aitum to people. And that's the key as well, is because everybody in the company is a content creator. We really don't want to go down the route of trying to do an affiliate scheme that offers a commission or something like that. We want to properly pay people. And because we value that the content creators who show off Aitum are the ones who are going to bring in the audiences who will pay for it. And that's another thing, the whole paying for an app in the streaming space. We've had I was going to
say, I was hoping you're going to bring that up and talk about, how big of a challenge that is, because you've got to pay for something. It's not free.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much money goes into running software or building software. And the best way to describe, though, the reason why we are paid is there are many other, I say many, there's more like 3 other pieces of software out there that do what we do to a point. We do a lot of things very differently. But you've got StreamerBot, you've got Triggerfire, you've got MixItUpBot. And if Aitum didn't exist, I'd be using one of those 3.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of people come to us and they go, oh, you know, one of those 3 is better because it's free. I'm like, honestly, that's fine. Then please go use that. And that's not meant passively aggressively either. Like, if you prefer something and you can't afford Aitum or you've got it working on something that's free, do it. We are not aiming to get the power users on Aitum. We're aiming to get the people who open up slobs because it talks you through how to stream. That's what Aitum is about. It's about the people who value their time enough to pay the $3.99 a month to go, I just want it to work. I want it to look pretty. I want it to be easy to use. And I want it to work. And the idea of the $3.99 is it gives a couple of things to you. One, what Aitum provides is another easy way to monetize. 500 bits, you know, plays a foghorn sound. There you go. You paid for Aitum for the month. But Aitum allows you to set up that function to monetize very easily. So we priced it at $3.99 UK pounds, which is $5, because it's also the same as a sub. People are used to paying to support their favorite content creator. So one sub's worth of money to improve their stream vastly, it's worth it, you know. And then finally, it's assurance. All of those other pieces of software out there, the three I named, they're projects. You know, they might have Patreons, they might have ways to support, but they are projects by people, communities who are building them. I think Mix It Up is a community of people. StreamerBot has currently one guy working on it. Triggerfire, I think one of the guys who works at Elgato made Triggerfire, you know. But they're doing that in their own time. And they've got community support behind them. Aitum is a business. And the difference with that is when you buy our product, we are giving you that guarantee that you paying for it means that it will work. We are bug testing it. If it goes down, we are going to work our asses off until that's fixed. You know, we had someone come to us very early days, you know, still having some teething problems and went, look, it's disconnecting from Twitch all the time. David, who's the developer on this, worked for nearly 3 days straight to fix that problem and put out a bug fix. Like, there was nothing that stopped us from focusing and fixing that, because that person in particular was a full-time content creator. That's their business. If this is not working, it's affecting their business. So that payment gives you that guarantee. And we really want to push that level of quality and reliability. And as well, you know, devs got to eat. You know, we're charging as little as feasibly possible. That allows us to afford our server costs and everything like that. And the amount of money we've all personally put into Aitum is, you know, quite astounding at this point. But it's worth it, I think, because the people who end up paying for Aitum and using it, we have not had one person who has turned around and gone, I intrinsically hate it. A couple of people might go, it's maybe not for me, or it you know, it does a couple of things, but it's maybe not worth it. Sure, that's fine. They've tried it. But 95% of people, and that's like quite literally a stat, 95% of people love and enjoy it and subscribe on the fact that they tried our trial and just went, yeah, this makes perfect sense. And again, they see our support, they see our dedication to it and our constant updates and trying to improve it. So yeah, like I say, originally it was a bit of a pain point, but now I see the people who pay for Aitum, they understand Aitum enough to pay for it, for example. And we're happy to have those people as customers.
Can I just say $3.99 is nothing, because
right?
The way that I look at it, and I don't even understand it to the extent of some others. My gist of it is that I could save time by not having to use this bot, this plugin, this thing to do all these things that I want. I can just do it in one here, and that's going to save me 20 seconds here, 30 seconds here, a minute here, 5 minutes fixing here. And over the month, that is going to save me probably quite a bit of time. So if I value my time at, let's say, £4 an hour, I mean, like, if I've saved an hour, then I think £4 is really, like, undervalued in terms of time. I always, when I subscribe to something that I like this, I look, what's it going to do to me? Is it going to save me time? And how much time does it need to save to me for it to justify the cost of it? Yeah,
it always makes me laugh, though, when people go, I don't want to spend $3.99, but they will buy Adobe.
Yeah.
And, like, I use Adobe straight up. I have a very good deal on it because I used to work in the industry that used it. But, I mean, I just use Adobe because I'm used to it. It works. I know how to use it. I'm happy to pay that money for it, as controversial as that may be in some spaces, you know. But again, it's with Aitum that $3.99 for just something that I, you know, if I was a customer, it was like, I would pay that. If I wasn't the person who created Aitum and I saw this for $3.99, I'd be paying it.
Yeah, it's the cost of a pint, really. Like, basically, like, so.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I think people just need to understand it, I think, more maybe, and
well, I mean, you were saying about having everything in one. We've got a chatbot coming out. We're waiting for some rate limits to be lifted by Twitch for it, and we'll have our chatbot out, which is ridiculously fast and has loads of features that people have been crying out for chatbots for ages. For example, we have a feature in the chatbot that when you go over a certain amount of viewers, only certain timers will start happening then. So you could be like, right, I've had a raid of 300 people. That is my comfort zone. 300 people chatting at once. I want slow mode on automatically. the chatbot can do that. Or a timer starts to say, thank you for tuning in. You know, Greg's playing drums right now. He will try and reply to everyone, but there's still a lot of people in the chat right now. So, you know, but that will only trigger when there's that, you know, level of people in the chat. So it's little, I won't tell you all the secrets because, you know, we want people to, you know, find it out for ourselves. It's on the website, but, or it will be when it comes out. But it's those like little bits of thought. And also the other thing that we have coming is remote control. So something that we have on my stream is because I'm drumming, I've got lights, I've got camera changes. I actually have the ability now with Aitum. It's technically unreleased, but it's coming out pretty soon. Is my mod, David or Rick, can sit and control my whole stream from their PC using their stream decks. But the thing is, Aitum is that fast. I send them a video feed via Video Ninja, if you've ever heard of that.
No, I've never heard of that.
Oh, absolutely amazing. But it's a point-to-point video system, so it's direct video. And the audio I send them is via something called Sonobus, which is extremely fast. And the round trip to Rick, he's in the Netherlands, is something like 15 to 30 milliseconds. So he is able to, with Aitum, actually hear the music, then press a button on his stream deck to beat match the lights to my stream live.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Which means like true remote production. So our plan is we are going to make it possible that you will be able to assign mods to have certain access to rules that you've built within Aitum to allow your mods to be like, right, you've forgotten to unmute your microphone. Mod just has a button.
Ah, I see.
You know, and
nice.
They could switch your scene. They could emergency stop your stream if something bad happens. And obviously the sky's the limit there, because you could have the ability to be like, right, I'm going to pay for those rules to only become active when a channel point has been activated. So you could have like a channel point that activates those rules that then allows the mods to mess with the stream. So the viewers and the mods could work together. You could see how it could spiral. Like the creative process there for people would be huge. But there's nothing, again, really out there like that at the moment.
So I guess it goes back to the point of just showing people that, I guess, using the content creators, streamers, like, to be the ones who are innovating with and pushing the boundaries and limits.
People do stuff with Aitum that we never envisaged people would do with Aitum.
Yeah, I bet.
There's a guy who made a whole, Chip Dingle, who made a whole haunted house controlled by Aitum. It's amazing. Like, and myself and the team are sat there watching the video that he posted in the Discord, just going, and, well, that's blown us out the water. We never thought this would be a thing, but he went and did it, you know? And Aitum powers it all. It's incredible.
So with regards to kind of Aitum and the tech and the stream that you think it's going to unlock, I'm curious to kind of move on to other passions of yours, which I think is like your setup and tech, etc. And we spoke before about like the Mega PC. It'd be great if you could kind of tell people about what that is, and then we should move on to maybe do some opinion advice stuff, different sizes of streamers and what tech you would recommend, and like what's most valuable to you on your stream. And that would be great to hear.
Yeah, so the Mega PC came out of necessity. Excuse me, my Tourette's makes me cough. When I mute to cough, it's not me dying of COVID, just to let you know. So yeah, the Mega PC came out of necessity because I was running 6 PCs to get all of the cameras, the inputs, everything to work on my stream. And that was just, even though Aitum was making everything way easier to control, still 6 systems, that's just increasing the chances of a crash or something going wrong. Let alone my electricity cost. Oh boy. So I'd spoken to Elgato when we were recording, or, you know, in about to record the advert they put out with myself, Jari, Lando Norris, and the Nerd Council.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That was amazing to work on. And I turned around to them and said, look, I really want to build a PC that can have all of your capture cards in, all the graphics cards I need, everything that can run my whole stream, bar the audio, because I have that on a totally separate PC, and I'll tell you the reason for that in a second. But everything video-wise just on one place. So it's all manageable, takes my electricity costs down, and it's also then more portable. Because this thing, whilst it's half the size of me, is actually on wheels. So, you know, aside from unplugging all the cables, which I wish to never do, but it's movable. So I said to Elgato, I was like, would you be up for maybe putting a bit of money into this? I've got a Zeus have given me a motherboard, and they've given me some graphics cards, or they were providing them, and Elgato turned around and went, yeah, we'll just pay for it. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, we'll just pay for the whole system. So I'd been in talks with, that was crazy, I would like to point out, because the whole thing cost about 25 grand in total. But I've been talking to a company called Render Boxes in the UK. Now they made this PCB which allowed you to take graphics card slots, PCIe slots, and split them. It's called PCI burification. Now, because I'm running so many capture cards, the Camlink Pros and various other USB-C cards and things like that, they don't all need a full slot. They don't need an X16. They only need at times a 4 or an 8. So splitting on this motherboard that Asus had given me, Threadripper Pro, 7 X16 ports. The 3 at the top I use for 3 3080s, and then the rest of them, the other 5, are split in 2, which gives me so much possibility for extra I/O. But that is not normally possible in a standard system. You know, you don't have that many physical slots. So we did a bit of back and forth, some more design work. We designed this PCB to be like the best it could be just for running what I needed. And this PC now can run 64 cameras. That's a collection of there's I think 28 or so webcams, and the rest are HDMI.
Yeah. All
of it going into one system. I've got so many USB ports on it, you would not believe. I've got 3 8-port USB-C cards, PCIe cards in that thing. And then how many hubs connected to all of those? It's ridiculous. But it does everything and more than what I wanted all in one, which means that OBS takes everything into one place, and there's no sending things across multiple PCs video-wise. All the latency is identical because it's all coming in at the same time, whereas, believe me, syncing everything previously was not fun. But yeah, the Mega PC is a one-of-a-kind in the whole world. That PCB and everything designed for it, the chassis, everything totally one-off. And Render Boxes did it as sort of like a passion project. They'd never done anything for a content creator or anyone in the video space before, like the live video space.
Yeah.
And Rich there was phenomenal, but it took a year and a half of like planning before Elgato even fronted the cash for it. But I'm incredibly proud of it. And like I say, it's definitely for larger content creators. I'm talking like the people who are so much bigger than me, the Dr. Lupos and the Ninjas. This system is the future for people like that, rather than lots and lots of PCs, for sure. But it meets my needs. I don't think I need any more than, 66. Sorry, I said 64. It's actually 69 cameras it runs. And yes, that's on purpose.
How many cameras do you use? Are you actually using across your setup then?
Currently, I am I've got 21 plus 24 plus 10. Whatever that ends up being. And there's a lot more I'm going to be adding. So
talk me through a few pieces of tech with regards to streaming that you couldn't live without. Like what would be like something that you have to have, or is maybe not too expensive, but really just like valuable to you?
Okay, the most valuable piece of software bar Aitum that I use is something called Dante. And so I have a personal gripe. And it is with a set of setups that use a specific mixer, which uses a 2-letter word and then XLR after it. And everyone thinks that to do a dual PC setup, they take an auxiliary cable out of one PC and the auxiliary cable out of the or into the mic port on a motherboard, and then into a GOXLR, and routing with loads of cables to get all your audio routed into the right place to go between PCs and have control and everything like that. And if you took anybody from the pro audio world and showed most streamers dual PC setups to them, they'd laugh. Because Dante, which is what I use, all of my audio interfaces work with it, all of my mixers, everything, is networked audio. And basically, you get what looks like a little grid, which I effectively call, Audio Minesweeper, and I just go, I want that device or that sound output from that piece of software to go into that one. And you click a button. All of your systems on your network speak to each other. It's 0 latency, or like 1 millisecond max.
Yeah.
And you can pour audio anywhere on your network. So I have a little laptop tablet thing that Azus sent me. I've got a face cam plugged into that. I've got a set of headphones that goes into that. And with Dante, over Wi-Fi, I can walk in and out my house. And I can hear the live audio feed from the stream. And with Aitum, control the stream anywhere. You can route it as well over the internet. So you can have someone join, like we're doing this interview now. If I use Dante to allow you to join, we would have ridiculously low latency audio, full quality as well. And again, I can route that anywhere in my network to any PC, anything. It's what? One license is $59 or €59, sorry, for life. It is.
Wait, so you're telling me that basically I've got my gaming PC, my streaming PC. Instead of me sending my gaming audio, if I've got my GoXLR on my streaming PC, which I do. Some people have on their gaming PC, which I don't know why.
It perplexes me too.
Usually, like you said, my gaming audio goes through the aux into my GoXLR, then into the line in, and then onto. You're saying if I download this Dante, I just send my gaming audio over the network onto my streaming PC into OBS.
It is that fast that you could probably have the gaming or the audio from your gaming PC sent over the network and monitor it from your streaming PC and have no latency.
So why are more people not using it?
Because people don't know about it. Because
people don't know about it. I'm glad you've told me, because I'm now curious. I'm going to be looking it up, and I've got GoXLR in front of me. I kind of want to get rid of it, but I need it. I now feel like I don't need it after what you've just told me, and I want to get just a small one.
So this is the thing is
because you don't have one, do you? You don't have a Go. Do you have a GoXLR? I've not seen one in your setup.
wouldn't touch one even if you paid me. I have my gripes with it, and the thing is, right, if someone like yourself or someone else has got a GoXLR and they're using it and it fits their setup and it works for them, then good. Like I am not against people buying something that they either want or works for them if it's got the features. But my problem with it is there is so much better stuff in either the pro audio scene, or just in general, like the Elgato Wave XLR does phenomenal stuff, and the Wavelink, hashtag sponsored, but I help test and suggest features for a lot of their like audio products and things. And the GoXLR is ridiculously overpriced. There is a product that I know of that you can buy that does everything the GoXLR does and more, and is half the price in the pro audio scene. And that's my sort of pet hate, I guess, is a lot of the stuff is gamified. And
I'm gonna say they've slapped this is for streamers, for gamers, and they've increase the price.
I mean, here's something that people don't consider. Did you know if you're taking an auxiliary cable out the back of one PC, plugging it into another piece of hardware that's powered, and then throwing it into another PC's mic port, you are immediately creating ground loop and static issues? You're connecting two highly powered machines together with a single copper cable. And if one has a surge and an issue, you could brick the other PC without you even thinking. And I've seen it happen to people, and people are like, oh, why is my audio crackly? Why can I now not use my wired headphones in my motherboard port? And because you've killed the preamps on it, because you've just plugged in a tiny, measly little audio cable in the wrong way. And again, I'm not trying to crap on people who like do it, but the issue is that I've seen people who are genuinely seen in the tech scene as knowing what they're doing, spouting about the best dual PC audio setups without doing further research. And you could go on, just Google and type in dual system audio, and Dante is one of the first things that comes up.
Okay. I'm gonna look into that.
And by the way, there is a free version, which most people already will have on their systems if they're a streamer. If you've ever downloaded the Reaper plugins, for their EQ and everything like that, they've got something called Restream on there, and that passes audio over the network. You can pass audio from one OBS instance to the other OBS instance with just a VST. And most people have had that installed on their PCs for streaming for the last, 5 years?
I'm a streamer with a dual PC setup.
Yep.
Then just to get you to kind of put this in an answer, what software and hardware should I be using?
Cool. So if you are a streamer who's just started and you're doing gaming, let's take the biggest thing on Twitch, gaming, or just chatting. Music is a different thing, but if you're a musician, I would expect you to have a level of knowledge in the pro audio scene anyway. So we'll just remove that for now.
Yeah.
If you're a gamer and you're starting out at first and you just want to go live, you've got no following whatsoever, you want to spend a couple of £100 to get a setup, grab yourself either a wave mic or a cheap mixer of some kind with an XLR microphone. Like I say, yes, sponsored by Elgato, but I'm not going to lie, the Wave DX for £100 is... I switched over from my more expensive microphone to this because it sounds better, and it's only £100. Like, you couldn't go wrong with this. And the Wave XLR is great, but you could pick up something for like £25 that does XLR input, a Behringer, for example. Yeah. If you just grab that, I would always say to people, go for something that works. Audio is the key to a stream to begin with, even if your video's choppy and stuff like that. Good audio. Most people will be just listening to you. So, yeah, it's... If I was going to name things, or if I was really going to be specific, I'd say most people who are just starting out should probably go for like a Wave 3, a Wave 1 or a Wave 3. It's USB, it's plug and play. And I think that's what most people require if they're new to the scene. XLR, upgrade later. Definitely, if you're considering and being serious, go to an XLR setup. There's no reason you shouldn't. Unless you were really set with the Wave, for example, or a USB microphone and you really like it. But again, just go with something that's plug and play, simple like that. Not going to break the bank. And that's the key, actually, is don't break the bank when you start streaming. I see so many people come to me and they go, oh, I'm going to go and buy an SM7B. And I've never streamed in my life. And I'm like, and you're silly for doing that. You know, it's...
I see so many people with them, and I'm almost like, that's an expensive mic, and you've got to go XLR. That's £500. I'm not sure whether that investment was justified at the stage that you're at in your streaming journey. I understand some people want to spend the money, but I'm like,
it makes me laugh when you see people with the SM7B, which is a phenomenal microphone, but it is not built for streaming. It was built for singers. So
what do you mean by that? What would you mean by it's not built for streaming?
So it is a dynamic microphone which has a specific tendency to favor the lower end of people's voices, and it doesn't have... You to properly use the Shure SM7B, you need it up in your mouth, in your face. Yeah. Otherwise, a lot of streamers, they'll grab it and they'll sit all the way over here,
Yeah.
and expect it to be picked up, and then they'll go, oh, it's not picking it up. I've got a cloud lifter. Let's ramp the gain up. Oh, that's not working. Right, let me boost the gain in OBS artificially, and the key there is they should have bought a condenser microphone. Or you'll see people using the SM7B and it doesn't suit their voice. They could have had a £200 Aston mic, which is condenser, and it suits their voice a lot more. Now,
how does someone know that?
So, great question, because basically I was going to lead on to it. Most people won't know what mic would suit their voice. There are so many out there, you just get swamped.
I'm pretty sure no one in the streaming space probably knows unless they've got audio experience.
So all microphones should come with something called a frequency response chart. Now, that will show you a grid with numbers along the bottom, which is your frequencies, and then a line. And that line will be drawn, it will be a curvy one, and it will be higher in some places and lower in others. And basically, that says, say we've got the chart, if at the lower end, the left, it's got a peak, as the SM7B does, means it's going to boost your bass more. If you've got bass in your voice, it's going to pick that up and bass and boost it. If it goes down at the top, it's got treble, it is taking away the treble. So you then want to find a mic that sort of like opposes what your voice is. So for example, this one here, the Wave DX, is really good because it boosts my low end. I have quite a middle ground, quite a nasally voice at times, quite a lot of high pitch stuff. So I need something that boosts my low end to level out my voice sound. And sorry, the SM7B dips a bit at the bass. That's what I was going to say. So it's really good for people with a bassier voice, because it boosts like the treble. If you've got a really trebly voice, it can just destroy. So if you are looking at a microphone, find the frequency response chart, record yourself on your phone or something like that, and just listen to your voice. Or record it in any way you can. Be like, do I sound really high pitched or do I sound bassy? And just match it roughly to the frequency response chart. Like I say, this is very generic, like, advice for using that sort of thing, but immediately from that you could go, right, okay, the Rode Procaster is actually way better for me, or the Wave DX, or an Aston mic. Or some people, they might look at it and go, you know what, actually, yes, the SM7B is going to suit my voice down to the ground. I should be using that microphone. And that's the thing, is things get the image of being like the streamer mic, which the SM7B is, and it really
it is the streamer mic, isn't it?
It's like, again, wonderful mic, nothing against the actual mic, but for a streamer, well, there's no point. You can spend less and have as good a sound. Plus, as well, you got to realize that your audio is being sent through Twitch, which is then going to be encoded and crushed to all hell. So
I get. I never.
Sorry, my
really
opinions on this are all quite strong, I guess.
Oh no, they're all valid and justified. I find that really interesting because I actually am. I've had this mic since I upgraded it from a really shitty one because I didn't want the SM7B because it was a bit out of my price range, and it was before I had the GOXLR, so I wanted something that had both. But I'm thinking of. I'm going to ask a question that's specific to my setup, so it might help people. So, I have. Obviously, this goes into my GOXLR in my streaming PC. I record on my MacBook my videos sometimes, and what I'm doing is basically plugging in the USB.
Oh, you're dual using the mic basically.
Yeah, but it's shit on through that cable. So I'm thinking of getting a Wave XLR. I need something basically to be able to go into my Mac. My GoXLR won't work with my Mac, and so I therefore don't have like the USB to USB-C of this mic. I can hear it. I can hear the gain like on it. It's shit, and I'm thinking like what would be a cheap way for me to be able to use this with my Mac?
Just Dante it.
Just Dante it.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying Dante it from my streaming PC, like to record to my MacBook?
Yeah, if you're recording audio on the MacBook and video on the MacBook, but you're using your stream PC at the same time, I'm assuming you're meaning you're using them at the same time. You meaning sometimes you just use your MacBook?
I'll plug my camera into my MacBook, plug my audio into my MacBook, and record directly onto there. So then I just edit straight into Premiere,
right,
to save me the hassle of moving video from my streaming turning on my streaming PC, moving the video over to my MacBook. I go plug, and then
okay. So my brain was sort of thinking you were having both on at the same time stream. Okay,
that could work. That was good to know that as well. I might find a use case.
Yeah, if you're doing both, or you feel like your main machine can't record everything twice, then Dante will save you. I would say you need to look at getting a proper audio interface. I personally would be saying go for a 2. Now the GOXLR is great in the fact that it is, it does have its faders and everything, and it does have the XLR input, and it's all in one box. But I think for a MacBook setup, now this is specifically because it's a Mac, and quite a lot of stuff sadly doesn't always become Mac compatible. But you could get a small audio interface like a Focusrite Solo, great thing, which is XLR. And then if you wanted mix control, aside from the little knobs it has on the front, which are great, you could buy a little MIDI mixer. So I have one sat next to me here. It's called the PreSonus Fader 8. And essentially, it just takes the values out of my audio workstation, the DAW, and moves the faders to be, it's motorized. Very fancy. But it allows me to control the digital audio in, and essentially that's what the GOXLR is doing. I was saying the Focusrite Solo is probably your best bet there. Single channel input, will easily support that microphone. It's got great gain. It's easy to set up, and the Focusrite stuff is really amazing. My top end audio interfaces here I use for my production and the studio side. They're $3,500 each. They're Focusrite, and their stuff is absolutely awesome.
Sweet, nice.
Yeah, I'll
have a look. I'll have a look into that. So before we wrap up, and before my PC crashes again, which I reckon we've got 20 minutes. 20
we could do it.
Minutes,
we could do it.
20 minutes to wrap up before it crashes again, because it did do this once. It's just happened once before, and it just does it every 20-25 minutes. I've got no idea why. But yeah, just before we wrap up, I wanted to just ask you what's next for MrGregles, your stream, what are you thinking about right now, coming up to kind of 2023? What's on the horizon? What are your main goals? What do you really want to achieve across either streaming or Aitum or content creation? Just curious to hear what's on your mind. What do you really want to do next year?
So my first thing is I'm rebuilding my setup with the Mega PC. I sort of just ported over my old setup, and it's been running on this system, but now I want to dive into the specifics and rebuild the whole thing on OBS 28 with all of the stuff that Aitum can now do, which is way better than when I first built the setup. I've got the bullet time that is I'm re-implementing, is coming back, but way better. I want to push the stream into a new era of interactivity and production value. So that's on stream. I want to get on TikTok. I can go live on TikTok now. I want to be doing that at the same time as Twitch streaming. But I want TikTok to have a fundamentally different experience than on Twitch, so people watch where they want for each experience. So I then want to create the short form content from that, which is going to be YouTube Shorts and TikToks. And I want to grow the stream again. At the start of this year, with Aitum launching and then a little bit of a personal turmoil and burnout, the stream took a real hit. I used to average 200 to 300 people, and I average about 100 people now. And not that I complain, I have a core wonderful community, but I want to grow. I want to grow again, and I want to be recognized more, not just for what I've been recognized for, the production value and the things, but I want to be seen as more a drummer as well in the pro music scene. I want to record with someone. I want to play in a band. I want to expand in that way. Of course, I want Aitum to get off the ground. I want thousands of people using it. I would love that to be paying some of my bills. So I didn't have to worry about how many subs I get each month, sort of thing. Really dive into the content creation again without that added pressure constantly of, can I afford my electricity this month? And I feel Aitum will definitely get there. But the main thing for me is I want to branch out of just the music community as well on Twitch. Without icing my own cake, so to speak, I have a lot I could teach people, and there is a lot that I'm doing that I feel could push Twitch in general. And there's an interesting thing, actually. When I was at TwitchCon, I got to talk to a load of the executives and loads of other Twitch staff, and I have so much confidence in the people, the Twitch staff who are the core of Twitch. And unfortunately, there's a lot of negativity going around about Twitch.
Yeah.
And I feel, I am definitely one of the people to call Twitch out if something happens. But after talking to everyone, there is so much passion still there. And I don't think it's become the meta to shit on Twitch.
Yeah.
Look, it's easy content. It gets lots of likes. But for me, no, I see Twitch over the next couple of years changing, yes, to become slightly more corporate in a way to be able to support itself, is owned by Amazon. But in the other sense as well, there's a lot of chance for real expansion there in how creators utilize the platform and work with the stuff that's upcoming. So I want to be almost an advocate for the platform. I like I say, I've got friends who are staff, and I want to be a source of positivity for it. And I want to be seen by some of the bigger streamers out there through my own merit. You know, I do something really cool and they go, wow, I want to know what that guy's doing and work with him for my stream. I want to help improve. Excuse me. I want to help improve Twitch's content as a whole. Because there are things you can do on Twitch which will not be achievable on other streaming platforms either ever, just because of the way the Twitch has its community and the support that people give, or just, you know, or if it does catch up, Twitch does it better, you know, the development, the production side. And I want to really push myself to be at the core of a new feeling of like power for streamers on the platform. And it might be stupid. It might be an absolute sky high dream, but I'm gonna attempt it. I just want to be. I want to be putting in positivity into something that I love, and streaming has been the amalgamation of all of my passions throughout my life. You know, as I said at the start, my art, my music, my tech, my visual effects. It's very weird and it might sound cliche, but it was as if I literally trained myself before I started streaming to be the perfect streamer, because I have something that's great content, drums and music. I know how to set up a stream and I know how to make it engaging. So I want to spread that. And it's not necessarily through education, in the sense of I'm not going to go out there and make loads of YouTube videos and here's how you do this. It's more about I want to work with the people out there who are passionate about it, who approach me and go, look, I see what you're doing and I want to do that too. And I want to take those people who really are seeking to push themselves and innovate, whether they know nothing about tech or are really techie themselves. And I want to like be involved in that. I'm already planning a big D&D thing with a couple of incredible content creators. I want to clear out my studio. I want to get a big table made. I want to make the best looking, best produced D&D stream out there. You know, move over Critical Role. I'm coming for you. You know, I doubt that'll ever happen. Like that, those guys are amazing. But it's those. I want to break out of the shell as well of just being seen as a drummer. I really want to be seen as this pioneer with Aitum behind me, powering it all. But I want people to see that content doesn't have to fit into the you know, as I said, people are falling into this bit of this single linear flow of how they feel being a content creator should be. And I want to be part of, you know, one of the people who helps branch that off again. You know, minimalism and streamlining seems to be becoming a massive thing within just the world. No, this sounds really strange, but I saw a post the other day of someone being like, look at how fancy Victorian stuff used to be, and now we look at a bollard in the street and it's not like this wonderfully shaped thing, it's just a metal post. And I feel the streaming world is in a way doing that. Everyone has the same style cam box, everyone has the same style overlay. And, as you look at my overlay, there isn't another one like it on the platform because I designed it specifically to be that way, and I want to help inspire that breakout for the either new creators, current creators wanting to reinvent themselves, and Twitch. Like, I spoke to a load of the Twitch staff and I was like, look, if you ever want to work with someone who, I don't care about my own growth when it comes to working with Twitch, but you want someone who actually wants to sit down with you and help improve the platform or be a litmus test, then I'm down. Like, let's go. I'll dedicate my time, because I feel, like I say, Twitch got me out of a really bad place, and it is a wonderful thing. And I'm not going to stop working to allow other people to find that joy that I found in it. And like, again, yeah, sure, it's sentimental as all hell and everything, but it's a real driving force for myself. So yeah, there you go. There's a lot there to pack into, like, what I want to do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All made sense. Wow. Yeah. I wish you the best of luck with that. It's exciting to hear someone. I can hear the passion in your voice. It's so clear that you I keep just thinking about that innovator thing that you're saying, and it's clear to me that you just want to innovate in this space and push the boundaries. And I agree completely with what you said, in that I don't think the boundaries are being pushed by enough people within Twitch. I think everyone's just sitting in kind of the slow lane because everyone else is sitting in the slow lane. Yeah. And it's fair enough. It's easy to get trapped into that.
We need a big creator to turn around and go, I'm just going to go do something wild. And it made me laugh the other day when everyone was freaking about over Ninja multi-streaming. I did a thing.
Wild.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, because that's new. It's like, there is so much out there that people don't realize. Like Dante, like I said, it's the same thing in the tech world. Like, Dante is like 10 years old or older, and people don't know it exists. But it's the best solution. There's the exact same thing with content, and there's so much out there that is groundbreaking, but people aren't looking at it, people aren't seeing it, and it just needs that little nudge to come to the forefront, and one big streamer to really take it for. Code Miko, VTubing, need I say more? Yeah. Look at what she did. And now VTubing is one of the biggest emerging markets within the industry. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But that's in general what gaming content and all of the content needs. And I know and see people doing it already, and I just want to be at the forefront of it. I want to be riding that wave and really enjoying it.
Nice, sweet. Well, before we then just wrap up, like when can we watch you stream? Like, what days do you stream? What times? Just for people watching so they can tune in.
So I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I'm UK, so I stream at UK time, either BST or GMT. We're about to swap over from between 6:30 and 7 o'clock. I start my stream, and I'll go until about 11 or 12. If we get a big raid, sometimes I go until like 3 in the morning because I've got a soundproof room and no one can hear me drum. Perfect. In the studio, no one can hear you scream, as we nicknamed it. But then on Sundays, I do start earlier. I start in the afternoon at about 3 o'clock. Nice. Well, great. It was a pleasure speaking to you. I learned a lot. I hope people watching learn a lot, especially about audio. I'm super fascinated in that. All of this stuff I talk about on my stream. If you come in with a question, I will quite happily pause my drumming and go and talk about tech for like an hour if it helps someone. I've seen it, yeah. Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm sure we'll catch up soon. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Yeah, you too, man. Thank you again. Sweet. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.